Very much. I'm going to eat the whole thing right now. We better wait till later. Isn't that wonderful? The WePlay Baton Rouge cake. Delicioso. Are we going to eat this after the show? Oh, come on. Let's cut it up and eat it. No. Thank you very much. Watch yourself, Bob. Thank you, and welcome once again, folks, to WePlay Baton Rouge. We instigated something new to our studio audience and also to the people at home. For those of you that are unable to come into the studio, like our contestants, and play the game, we have the living room players. Now, what this is by sending your name and your address and your phone number to us, you too can play along with the contestants as they move across the streets to the studios of TV2. Before each show, each of our contestants will draw a name. If your name is selected and that contestant wins, you win too with a $100 gift certificate from Godshaw. So send the names in. We're happy to have the names and also to have you to play the game along with us right from the best seat of the house in the living room. We start our game with the explanation of the rules. Is that right? That's right, Pat. Let's go now to the game board. You'll see our game board, streets, and two podiums where our contestants appear. Now, after an 8-second spin, the contestants have the option of picking a category, such as movies, schools, or the ever-popular mixed bag. When they pick that particular category, I in turn ask them a question. A correct answer means it'll move across a series of well-known streets, such as Jefferson Highway, College, Cadian, but should you hear this sound, that indicates an incorrect answer, and that means the question can go back to the other contestant, or he has the option of going to the game board. Then to East Street, and TV2 is located on Highland. When you move over that to the studios of TV2, you could be the winner. On this side, you know where Perkins, Lee, Stanford, Dalrymple, and just one block away from Highland Road is Texas Street, over that to the studios of TV2. Guess what night it is tonight? The Social Workers. Here is Steve Earle, introduction of our contestants. Steve Areno.
As you mentioned earlier, Pat, it's Social Workers Night. Well, our first social worker enjoys chasing stray dogs with a weed eater, impersonating O.C. Brown, and watching reruns of Leave It to Beaver. Backed by the Office of Family Security, here, the one, the only, Mae McGuffrey.
Wait a second, you're not Mae McGuffrey. Hey, they said that this was Mae McGuffrey. Mae, it's nice to meet you, Mae. No, your name must be Robert
Bruce Rabie.
And we're going to call you Billy.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here. How is everything down at the, where do you work again?
I work for the Department of Health and Human Resources.
Okay. Now,
very busy.
Yeah, I would say 10.1% unemployment. It's got to keep you going.
It's very busy down there, and we're doing our best. We're working hard.
That's good. Okay, now we know who the next contestant is, but let's see if Steve Earle is going to correct himself and not introduce Mae McGuffrey. Steve, who's our second contestant tonight?
Mae's opponent tonight works directly across the room. He enjoys owning his own home, collecting garbage can lids, and listening to Slim Whitman albums at a faster speed. Say hello to Robert B. Rabie.
He missed it! Now, you see, I'm sorry, this is Mae McGuffrey, and I'll tell you what, you see, the problem there is Steve Earle. We're having a tough time teaching things. We just taught him the days of the week last week, and next week we're going to teach him how to count by 10 and also colors. So he's going to learn that, but I'm sorry, you are Mae McGuffrey, and you work also at the same office as Mae McGuffrey over there.
Right.
As Robert Bruce. Yes, and you do the same type of work as he does.
Basically, it's just that I work a little bit harder than he does.
I was going to say that. He looks to be a real lazy type of guy. Okay, we start our game with a coin toss, and then we're going to get into the game board and get moving across the streets. But first, these commercial messages. We'll be right back with round one on WePlay Baton Rouge. Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This moves into round one of WePlay Baton Rouge. First, we toss the coin. I'm going to set that hat right there. I'll toss the coin. Why don't you go ahead and call it, Bruce?
Oh, tails.
I'm sorry, it is heads, as you can see. You've won the toss, Mae, and you've opted to
Take car number, red car.
red car. You got the red car, and you're moving across these streets. That means you get the first question.
All right.
All right, now before we go, why don't you reach in there and pull a card out for our living room players. Now, who might that be? You want to read that for me there?
All right. David Ratcliffe on Daniel Street in Baker, Louisiana.
All right, David, if Bruce happens to win, you're winning the $100 gift certificate from Godshaw's. You'd reach in there and pull one out too, May.
Lucky person. Gloria Rochelle, Glen Oaks.
Yes, indeed. Okay, Gloria and David, you're playing Baton Rouge right along with us. Let's see what happens as we move into round one on We Play Baton Rouge. Let's go and get it. Okay, Bruce and May, you'll find behind you our game board. As we had opted, Bruce, you are getting the first question. We spin the game board now. We find that the categories after an 8-second spin will lock in on places, comics, and words. What do you think looks good there, buddy?
Pat, let's try words.
Words it is. Here's your question. Looking for Perkins. Here they are called parishes. Bruce, what are they called in other states?
Counties.
Counties is correct. You've got Perkins for your first treat. Mae McGuffrey, looking for Jefferson. Look to the game board now. Let's spin those categories for you. We find going from words on Bruce to your selection of places, comics, words pops again.
Let's try comics, Pat.
Comics it is. Listen to this question, May. This red-haired comic book character attends Riverdale High School with his classmates Veronica, Jughead, and Moose. Name him.
Reggie.
Incorrect answer. Oh, you're in a heap of trouble, May. Okay, it's back over to you, Bruce. Now you can take the question or back to the game board.
I'll take the question.
The question is yours. Here it is, buddy. This red-haired comic book character attends Riverdale High School with his classmates Veronica, Jughead, and Moose. Can you name him?
Archie.
Archie Anders, correct. You've got me. And I think May's going to hit you with her latest edition of Archie comic books. It's back over to you, May. You're heading for Jefferson. Let's go to the game board again for you. Here we find this time the combinations mixing, matching. You'll find places, comics, words again. Comics is up there too.
Okay, let's go back to comics.
If you really want to, May, here is your comics question. Little orphan Annie's foster father is a benevolent munitions tycoon. What, for Jefferson, is his name, May?
Daddy Warbucks?
That's exactly right. And you're on Jefferson. We're going now back to Bruce. Bruce, you're on Lee. Get that? Bruce Lee. Oh, yeah. Okay, Bruce Lee, you're heading for Stanford. Let's go to the game board now. We find this time the category is rapidly moving, and we'll find for you, you can pick these particular ones. Movies is there, so is schools, so is mixed bag.
Let's try movies, Pat.
Movies it is. Here is your question. Under movies, in this 1972 movie, Bruce, an army of rats attempts to overtake a city. What horror film was this? Was it Rat Patrol, Rodney, Ben, or A Company of Mice?
Rat Patrol.
Incorrect answer, you big dummy. It's back over to you, May, the question, or it's back to the game board.
Let's go to the game board, Pat.
Okay, you remember that movie, folks? The 1972 movie had an army of rats taking over the city. What horror film was this? It was We Play Baton Rouge. No, it was none other than Ben. They wrote such a nice song about Ben, didn't they? And what a dumb movie. Okay, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we return, May, it is your turn. You've opted to go back to the game board. We're opting to take care of some business. We Play Baton Rouge continues right after this. All right.
Travel arrangements for We Play Baton Rouge are provided by American Airlines. American Airlines, doing what we do best.
Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Moving into round two, Mae McGuffrey and Bruce Rabie, both working in the same office, which is...
Family Security.
Family Security. When we left, it was your turn. May, you opted to go back to the game board. Let's spin those categories for you. We find this time that appears up on our game board. You can pick from Louisiana people and sports.
Let's try Louisiana, Pat.
Louisiana it is. Listen to this question. Major General P.G.T. Beauregard was from what parish? Was it East Baton Rouge Parish, Iberville Parish, St. Bernard Parish, or Assumption Parish?
Let's try Assumption Parish, Pat.
Incorrect. Answer, May. Back to you, Bruce.
I'll take the question.
All right. You sure? You sure you want to take the question? Major General P.G.T. Beauregard was from which parish? Bruce was at East Baton Rouge Parish, Iberville Parish, St. Bernard Parish, or Assumption Parish?
St. Bernard Parish, Pat.
That's exactly right. You're moving up now to the camper here. He ordered the first gun to be fired in the Civil War at Fort Sumter on November 12, 1861. May, it's back over to you. 2 streets behind. You're in Jefferson. You're looking for college. Look to the game board now, where you'll find the categories spinning. And when they stop, you'll notice that right now they are locking in on things. People, places, things, music, or people.
Let's try people, Pat.
Here it is. People, the question, or the category. Here is your question. This famous person, May, developed his own brand of beer. He was the brother of a president of the United States, made his film debut in Flatbed Annie and Sweetie Pie. Lady Truckers, can you name this famous person?
Mr. Falstaff.
I'll tell you what, May, I'm not sure, but I think that that's an incorrect answer. Now it's back to you, Bruce. You can take the question or I'll stick it in my ear.
Pat, I'll take the question.
You're crazy. All right. I want to remind you, it's not Mr. Falstaff. This famous person developed his own brand of beer. He was the brother of a president of the United States. He made his film debut in Flatbed Annie and Sweetie Pie. Lady Truckers, can you name for Dalrymple this famous person?
Billy Carter.
Billy Boy Carter is right. Dalrymple. Okay, it's back over to you, May. Falstaff, huh? Okay, it's back to the game board. Let's run those categories for you. They're really going to be beating you up at the office. Here we find sports, television, and history or past, things of the past.
Okay, let's try TV.
TV it is. Here is your question. You're looking for college. What governmental body put Steve Austin, the $6 million man, back together? Was it HUD, the IRS, NASA, or the OSO?
How about OSO?
That's exactly right! And you're on college. I thought for sure that it was the Internal Revenue Service because, as you know, that show didn't last very long on the air. It's back over to you, Bruce. We're going to the game board for you. We find this time the category is spinning. Yes, indeed, you're 2 streets ahead. We find places, comics, words.
Pat, let's try words.
Words it is. Listen to this question. Under words, in Louisiana, we call it Spanish moss. What did the French call it, Bruce, for Texas?
Multiple choice answer, I hope.
No, it's not. No, incorrect, Beaver Breath. In Louisiana, we call it Spanish moss. What did the French call it?
Sorry, Pat, don't know the answer.
That's an incorrect answer, Bruce. May, you can take the question.
Now let's go to the board, Pat.
Back to the game board. It's called Frenchman's wig. In Louisiana, we call it Spanish moss. The French call it Frenchman's wig. Back to the game board. You're on college. You're heading for Acadian, May. We scramble the categories for you and find this time we offer things, music, people.
Let's try things, Pat.
Things it is. Here is the question under things. Listen up. The invention is the cotton gin. Who was the inventor in 1793?
Eli Whitney?
Eli Whitney, right. You're on Acadian. On Acadian, just 1 street back, May. Hey, Bruce, you're on Dalrymple. 2 to get to the studios of TV2. We've got to take care of some business first. We'll return with more of WePlay Baton Rouge. But first, these messages, especially for you.
Does your group or organization need to promote that next event? Well, come on down to the studios of TV2 for WePlay Baton Rouge. Call us at 925-8295. That's 925-8295. Back to WePlay Baton Rouge and Pat Shingleton.
Okay, Steve, thank you very much, folks. See that building right there? That's the Office of Family Security right there, and that's where our 2 contestants work. Now, as we mentioned, David Ratcliffe, you are playing for Bruce, who is now 2 streets away from the studios of TV2. And Gloria Roshto on Glen Oaks, you're playing for May, and she's just 3 streets behind. It's a pretty close game. When we left, whose turn was it?
May's.
That's right. So, May, it's back to the game board for you. We're going to the game board. We spin the categories. You're looking for a park. Let's see what happens as we move into the final play of WePlay Baton Rouge. Things is there, May, so is music and people.
Why don't we try things, Pat?
Things it is, May. Listen to this question. Ruth G. Wakefield, in 1930, developed this crunchy, chewy type of cookie which contains bits of chocolate. Name the cookie, and Park is yours.
Would it be chocolate chips?
Chocolate chip cookie is right, and you're on Park. Under the things categories. Back over to you, Bruce. We're locked in, tied up. You're heading for Texas. Let's go to the game board again. As we run the categories, you will find this time these categories. Movies is there. Schools, mixed bag.
Let's try movies, Pat.
Movies it is. Here is your question. This energetic and exciting musical pays homage to the age of rock and roll. It starred John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John. What is the name of this hit movie?
Grease.
Grease is the word, and that is right. You've got Texas. May on Park, heading for East. Let's go back to the game board. Let's find out what the categories are going to appear this time. Here you see a combination, television, words, and music to select from. What do you think?
Okay, let's try TV, Pat.
TV it is. Here is the question under television. A bleam is 2,000 Earth years on the planet Orc. What TV series are we talking about that has appeared on TV too?
Would that be Mork and Mindy?
Mork, Mindy, right, you're on East. Back to the game board for you, Bruce. Let's run the categories. Here we find again, this particular category of television is there. Again, words pops up and so does music. Bruce?
Let's try words.
Words it is. Here's the question. During World War II, Bruce, these Japanese aircraft were designed in the 2600th year of the Nipponese dynasty. Now, what were these planes called?
Zeros.
That is exactly right. You will go to Harlan as our winner today. Congratulations. Zero. Now, what'd you think of that answer, May?
I don't know. I'm going to have to check that one out.
I think it has to do with something about the amount of work that he does over at the office. May, you played a great game. We have a nice prize I think you're going to enjoy. We go back now to Steve Areno, Earle Linsky. Steve, what do we have for May?
In your line of work, it seems as though you never get done. Well, WePlay Baton Rouge has a prize you'll want to complete. Your package, first of all, includes this $100 gift certificate from the Unfinished Furniture Center. Yes, plenty of gorgeous quality solid wood home furnishings are yours to choose from at the Unfinished Furniture Center. The trained staff will help in transforming your unfinished item to a gorgeous home furnishing. 2 locations to serve you, Airline Highway and Greenville Springs Road. After picking your gift, you'll also enjoy dinner for 2 at Los Amigos Restaurant. From appetizer to entree through the main course, Los Amigos offers a wonderful taste of Old Mexico. All from the Unfinished Furniture Center, Los Amigos Restaurant, and WePlay Baton Rouge.
Okay, once again, too, May, we have the WePlay Baton Rouge shirt and hat for you. Nice throw, Bob. You're getting better. WePlay Baton Rouge hat and shirt for you. And to Gloria Roshto, who was playing with you from Glen Oaks. That's what happens when we play Baton Rouge. No, we'll be sending her the WePlay Baton Rouge brick. Thank you for being with us. And you tell everybody down at the office we said aloha. Okay, Bruce, you won the game with zeros. All right, zeros was the answer concerning the Japanese planes that were developed some years ago. We have a nice gift I think you're going to enjoy. Let's go now to Steve Earle. Once again, Steve, what do we have for Bruce?
Your winning prize package tonight will take you near and far. First, we're sending you and your family to the Greater Baton Rouge State Fair. Countdown to fun and countdown to 1. The ticket will give you more than ever before. Unlimited carnival rides, nightly concert performances, exhibits, and many, many attractions. They're all yours with the ticket. The Greater Baton Rouge State Fair, October 28th through November 7th. After the fair, we have another fair for you. It's airfare. Yes, you and your guest are flying to Houston, Texas. You'll board American Airlines here in Baton Rouge and jet to Houston. American Airlines doing what we do best. In Houston,
2 nights are yours as you and your guest visit the city's finest luxury hotel, the Whitehall Hotel, with 3 fine restaurants, cocktail lounges, health club, and pool. The Whitehall. You never felt so special. All from the Whitehall, American Airlines, and of course, American International Travel. Travel here in Baton Rouge and wherever you want to be tomorrow.
All right, how about that, Bruce? Now, Bruce, also, we have for you through American International Travel, you also received 4 tickets and 4 passes to go over to Astroworld. So I think you'll enjoy that. And of course, the WePlay Baton Rouge hat and shirt. Boy, that Bob's getting better on those throws. He must have been watching Alan Risher. But anyway, there's the hat and the shirt. Thanks for being with us. And do take a moment to say thank you and hello to all the people down at the office.
Pat. Thanks so much.
All right, listen, that's what happens when we play Baton Rouge. To the living room players, I forgot to mention, David Radcliffe, you have won a $100 gift certificate from Godshaw's because Bruce has won. This is Pat Shingleton saying you never know what you're going to see on We Play Baton Rouge. Join us next week. Until then, no matter what game you're playing, you play it the best you can. Bye-bye for now. Well, okay.
We Play Baton Rouge is a Pat Shingleton production made in association with WBRZ TV2. Eyewitness News is up next. And join us next Saturday at 5:30 when... We Play Baton Rouge!
And the goblins are looking for the trick and the treat. It's 6 1/2 hours until the bewitching time. But before you settle into your costume, it's the Halloween show on We Play Baton Rouge. Here now is Mr. Cool himself, Boo-Boo to you two, Shingleton.
Are there any Cub Scouts here tonight? Boy, I'll tell you, we're loaded up here tonight with Cub Scouts. Good to have you with us. How y'all doing? Give yourselves a round of applause. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to We Play Baton Rouge. Yes, indeed, this is the game show made in your backyard with people who may have been in your backyard. And tonight is our Halloween night. We've got a trick for you, and we've got a treat. Now, the trick is our 2 contestants have masks on. We clue you that they are very well-known personalities here in the Baton Rouge market. Now, the treat is, before they can take their masks off, they've got to at least answer 1 question and access that very first street. So that's the way our game is being played tonight on this Halloween night type of thing for us. So we're going to wait and see for that. But first, let's go to a little explanation of our game. The game is played by going to the game board, and you will see a bunch of categories that will randomly appear right there on the game board. Our contestants, when that stops, will pick a specific category. For example, television, words, music. I, in turn, ask our 2 Guess Who contestants the question. When they correctly answer that question, they'll move across a series of well-known Baton Rouge streets, such as Jefferson, College, Acadian, Park. But should they hear this signal, that means we get to beat the heck out of the contestants. No, that means that they incorrectly answered that question, and the other contestant has the option of taking the very same question, or it's back to the game board. Then over east, TV2 is located on Highland. When you move over there, that could be the winner. On this side, we have Perkins, Lee, Stanford, Dalrymple, and Texas Street, once again, over Highland to the studios of TV2. Here now is Steve Earle with the introduction of our Guess Who contestants on our Halloween show. Steve?
As you mentioned, Pat, the Halloween show means plenty of surprises. Tonight is our Guess Who night. In the bag, we find contestant number 1. He's well known in the Baton Rouge area. You've seen his picture at the post office, and he enjoys scraping old paint from the old Mississippi River Bridge, appreciates the smell of liniment, and, of course, savors chicken gizzards. A big We Play welcome to contestant number 1.
This must be contestant number 1. Now, Contestant number one, you've disguised your voice. We've disguised your face. Nobody in our studio audience or at home knows who you are. But let me ask you this. Who are you? No, do not take your mask off. Are you ready?
I'll tell you, that Pat Shingleton, he's a card, ain't he? Go ahead.
That could be a hint as to who this is. Now, we got a tough contestant for you here, number one. And here we have Steve Earle to introduce Guess Who contestant number duo.
Guess who this is?
We don't know.
It's none other than contestant number 2. As he competes with number 1, he also competes with wrestling fans in trying to get a front row seat at the Centroplex wrestling matches.
I recognize
He's the president of the Skandar Akbar fan club. Loves pole vaulting without the pole. From Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, guess who? Contestant number 2.
It's Frog Boy. Okay, now, contestant number 2 on our Guess Who night. You know who you are. Obviously, we do not. Why don't you say a few syllables first?
That's right, wink.
Translation was, that's right, wink. Okay. All right, it must be Frog Boy. Put your foot in your pocket. All right, we start our game with the toss of a coin. Then we're going to toss these two guys out of here. But then we'll start spinning the categories. We'll be back with the start of WePlay Baton Rouge right after this.
Who are these contestants in the bag? We'll return on the Halloween show on WePlay Baton Rouge. Round 1 coming up.
Welcome back. Yes, indeed, folks. This is our Halloween night on WePlay Baton Rouge. It's our Guess Who night. We have contestant number 1, contestant number 2. Do you at home know who they are? Well, we're going to wait and find out. We start the game with a coin toss. Contestant number 2, why don't you call it? I'm sorry, tails it is, you dork mind. So that means that contestant number 1, you've opted to do what?
I've opted to stay here and participate. Yes, I've opted to go ahead and answer a question, get this stupid mask off, man. What are you talking about?
All right. Now, contestant number 2, you're okay right here at these streets. Is that right?
I'm in fine, sir.
All right, then, folks. Yes, I'm sorry, Bob. We got the living room players. Now, what you have to do in here, contestant, reach your name in there and pull out a name.
Can I pull out a card instead?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, you can read that off.
Oh, heck yeah. James Owen Jr.
And Cornell Avenue. So you're playing for James Owen Jr. on Cornell Avenue. If he wins, then you, James Owen Jr., not only win.
Living room.
You get 2 nights with this guy. No, you win a $100 gift certificate from Godshaw's and 4 passes to the Baton Rouge State Fair. The ticket gets you everything. Okay, contestant number 2, you draw one right out of there. And you're playing for who on our living room players?
Thelma? Lightsky?
Lightsey. Lightsey. And Thelma lives on Warfield. So if contestant number 2 wins Thelma, you will win the $100 gift certificate and also a big bag of Rollates. So you hold on to those, Bob Jolly. It's time for round 1, folks. WePlay Baton Rouge. Let's go get it.